Hey everyone, I'm back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Today I am in Tennessee. I have to remember what state I was in because it's been a lot of traveling lately. But right now I'm in the state of Tennessee. For those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So good evening from Boston. Welcome back. So before we get started on Mental Health Moment, I am going to share, I'm going to put in the comments, even though I'm sorry, my LinkedIners can never see my comments. I don't know why this platform never lets me. I don't know why it doesn't go to LinkedIn. I'm sorry. But for Facebook and YouTube, you can actually see it in the comments here. And I'll let you all know for my LinkedIners. But mindsettrainingsummit.com is where you can go to register for my growth mindset and self-care summit. It is on Friday, October 24th in Atlanta. It's a full day event. I am like beyond excited. I'm really excited. Last year, some of you all came to the virtual summit. This year it's in person. It's the first year in person. I'm so excited to meet everyone. Just really excited to be hosting. It's a ton of work, by the way, behind the scenes. It's so much work. It's like my part-time job right now, but it's all good. I'm grateful and I'm just excited about the event because I'm excited for who's going to be attending. I'm excited for all the speakers. They're amazing people. So I'm so excited for you to meet them as well. But you do have to register. It's mindsettrainingsummit.com. You can use the promo code. This is for BWE family, BWE100 to get $100 off the early bird ticket. I know early bird ticket specials are ending very soon. So be sure to get your tickets before the price goes up. Philadelphia's in the house. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, I would love to see you all at that event. Again, it's Friday, October 24th in Atlanta, all-day event. We are going to just come together, learn, build community with one another, laugh, have a good time, be blessed, and just continue to work on our mindset. This is something I preach all the time. For those of you new to Mental Health Moment, this is literally what I preached for. I don't know, it's been a long time, probably almost a decade here on Mental Health Moment because it's so, so important, you all. So again, hey everyone, thanks so much for joining here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. For those of you, I know some of you take notes, make sure you're, jotting these things down. And I hope that you really start to implement it into your life, and I hope it's helpful to you. So with everything going on, it's sort of a continuation from last week. I was talking a lot last week about how there's certain times like now when the world just feels heavy. And what I mean by that is, turn on the news or look at social media. Like it's just sometimes it just feels like there's so much happening. And then we have our own personal lives to deal with our own stuff, right? In the midst of the world just feeling heavy, right? So because of that, it is really, really important. I cannot stress that enough to understand that you still have to work on protecting your peace and protecting your mental health. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today. And hi, thanks for those who are still starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your Mental Health Moment. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today there's something called progressive relaxation. And you may not be familiar with the term, but I'm going to go through the tips of how you can incorporate this into your life. For those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, I love things that are good for your mental health and wellness and do not take a whole bunch of time because I know all of us are busy. So I try my best to provide practical tips and let me put an asterisk on that. For the record, sometimes, yes, there are things we need to do in our lives to better our lives that do take time. Sometimes we have to work on things for weeks or months or years, right, to make changes. But also there are things that you can incorporate in your life that take small amounts of time. You do have to be consistent with it, but small amounts of time and make huge differences in your life. So please understand that and please keep that in mind, okay? So 3 tips today. So the first thing, and it's not something new, it's not something you haven't heard before, but I will say it 1,000 times to you all is to remember your deep breathing. Okay, so tip number one today, when you really think about with all that's happening in the world, all that's happening in your personal life, the chaos sometimes that you feel from everything happening around you, one of the ways to recenter and recharge is taking your deep breaths. Now, there are a lot of ways. If you Google, I don't even know how many ways, there's like a gazillion ways to do this. So there's not a right or wrong, it's just what works best for you. But for example, I will tell you about one that's easy to remember, and it's literally the 4 by 4 by 4, right? So it's literally you breathing in for 4 seconds, right? So literally breathe in 4 seconds. When you breathe in, you hold your breath for 4 seconds. So again, breathe in. I just counted the four. Hold your breath for 4 seconds and then release and have that release happen for 4 seconds. So 4, 4, 4. It's something very easy to remember. Again, there are many ways to do deep breathing. If you already have a technique where you're like, Dr. Hammond, I'm incorporating my deep breathing, and you have a practice, you have breath work or some type of practice, great. Please continue that. If you're like, I know I should do deep breathing, or maybe you just want to try it and see how it can help your mind and your body, then that is one easy thing to remember. Okay, so 4, 4, 4. It means breathe in 4 seconds, hold it 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds, right? Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment if you're just tuning in. So today we're talking about a couple of tips of how to get your body into a relaxed state. Because frankly, it's very, it's been interesting about the news. Sometimes it is easy when you hear things like, even though you may not even know, it's, the person or people of things you hear on the news or things you hear on social media. And when I say things, I mean like negative things, bad things, horrible, traumatic things. But if you take that in too much, you can accidentally negatively affect your own mental health of something that has nothing to do with you, right? But if you, in the midst of everything on all the chaos that happens around us, if you make a intentional effort to say, you know what, let me make sure that I'm intentional with my physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, mental health, right? Then it can just reduce that fight or flight, if you will, that sometimes happens in our bodies, help with inflammation, like all sorts of things. There's so many benefits, right? So tip number one, again, was like, one of the things I want to say about deep breathing before I go to the next tip is it's most beneficial, like anything, right? That's good for our health when you do it consistently. So whatever it is for you to remind yourself to do the 4, 4, 4, let's call it that to make it easy. 4, 4, 4 deep breathing. If you need to remind yourself with your cell phone, if you need to put a post-it note on your mirror or in your car or wherever, just to remind yourself, if you're not already in this practice and you want to get into the habit, which is a good habit to have, to take the moment, I should say, to work on your deep breathing, like work on getting back to a calmer state of mind and in your body, then do what it is that you need to do to set those reminders. Okay. And again, if you're already doing this, hooray, that's awesome. If you haven't done it yet, but you know you need to do it, hooray, you're about to start. So either way, I'm celebrating you all. Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two, so progressive relaxation, the main part of it is where there's a couple ways to do it, but let's say you want to scan your body, and you can either scan it for where your tension lies. So for some of you, there's no right or wrong to this. If you really pay attention to your body, you will know what part of your body holds stress. For some of you, it's your neck and shoulders. I know for me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm feeling tense, like I need a massage, right? Neck and shoulders, that's where you hold your stress. For some of you, it's in your back. For some of you, it's in your stomach. For some of you, it's in your legs, your arms, your head, like wherever, right? But when you start to become more aware, if you're not already, of like, okay, today I'm having a stressed out day, right? And you feel the tension, and let's say it's your neck and shoulders. one of the things that's helpful when it comes to muscle relaxation is you take that area of your body, you tense it. Let's say you tense it for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and you release. You tense it and you release. You can also, so you can do that in the areas that you're feeling tense. Now, I do want to put a big asterisk on this. For those of you who have some type of physical health condition, that is not what I'm talking about. Like, please contact your primary care physician or whomever's on your medical team. That is a whole different situation. I am talking about if you're just stressed out, so there's nothing physically going on with you, but you're stressed out, because we do hold stress in certain parts of our body sometimes. There are ways to release that stress out of those said body parts, right? Then you can take the time to scan your body, be like, okay, I feel it in my neck and shoulders, or my back, or my stomach, or wherever it is, and you work on tensing and releasing, tensing and releasing. So that's one way. Or you can literally just take, depending on how much time you have, because I know we're all busy, but if you have like a good 10 minutes of your time, there are plenty of scripts, if you will. You can look on YouTube, you can Google it or whatnot, and put in progressive muscle relaxation. They will give you a script. You can listen to it where you can go through starting with your head, your neck, your shoulders, like all the way down your body. And it'll help you when you're listening to something to hold it, release it, hold it, release it. And then the third tip while you're doing that, so the bonus, actually, let me just check in really quick. The bonus of this is if you can go through, again, just the different parts of your body, tense it, release it. It can even be your fists, your toes, like hold it, tense, right? Tense it up, 10 seconds, release, tense it up, release, just to work on releasing the stress from your body. The bonus of it is also if you simultaneously can tell yourself things, because your mind is always listening to your thoughts, right? Or you are always not always paying attention, but you are affected by your thoughts, is what I'm trying to say. So you can also tell yourself, like, okay, I release this stress. I choose calm, right? Like, I am going to be okay. Like, whatever it is you need to tell yourself as you're working on releasing the stress, you can do that simultaneously. Let's say you're tensing your fist, right? And you say, okay, I release this tension, and spend like 8-10 seconds, and you release, right? Like, your body physically is going to work on releasing the stress, but also, again, as a bonus, you can work on releasing that from your mind as well. So again, this is something, and for those of you who are like, I'm so busy, I'm at work, you can be at your desk. If you're, let's say you have a desk job, you can literally be at your desk and do something like this. It takes like 10 minutes. I mean, unless you want to. It's not something you necessarily have to like announce to everyone around you, but you can just take the time. If you need to listen to something on YouTube, you can, just as a practice to hear, like, there's plenty of scripts, like I said, with people saying like, okay, now, clench your fist and release, and then clench your, abdominal muscles and release, or, make your shoulders tense. Like, you can go through those, or you can just mentally do it on your own, right? You don't necessarily have to listen to anyone. And again, it's something that could take you 5-10 minutes, especially when you're feeling stressed out. That's the especially when. But also, it's good to do this preventatively as well, right? So a lot of things, let's put on my my little hat for a second and say a lot of things that we think about when it comes to mental health and wellness, we wait until we're like so stressed out, and then we're like, oh, we should do something, right? Instead of, if you hopefully think in terms of, let me take care of myself, right? Prevention, I know, is so much harder to do prevention than intervention. But let me take care of myself. Let me add this to my toolkit. Let me add this into my practice, right? Those are ways to think of how to prevent yourself from getting to like overwhelmed, burnt out, so stressed out, as opposed to only when you get to that point, you're like, okay, now let me try to release all this stress. So hopefully that makes sense. It is a practice that once I started and personally started and saw how beneficial it is, I'm like, this is amazing, right? So, but again, in order for anything to become a habit, right, we have to start it and be consistent with it. And that's why I said earlier, if you need to set a timer on your cell phone to remind you, which is all good, or write the post-it note reminder, or however you need to jot it down, or like trigger your brain to say, oh, let me do it real quick. Let me do my deep breathing. Like, and you can do, it depends on how often you want to do deep breathing as well. If you want to wake up in the morning, I do that. That's part of my morning routine. But wake up in the morning, have your deep breathing session, or in the afternoon, you're like, you know what, I'm really stressed out around lunchtime. You do it then, or before you go to bed at night, you could do it then. Like, there's no right or wrong way of where to put the deep breathing into your day. It's just really important that you practice that. You know what's funny? I was speaking this past weekend in Orlando at a summit, which was amazing. Oh, my friend Manny Buson was hosting a summit, the Amp Your Life Summit. And so there was a group of us in Orlando at this summit, which was so great. But nonetheless, I was telling the audience there how important it is. You know what's funny? We oftentimes we've heard, you probably heard it before, like I've heard so many times, like balance doesn't exist. And I think that that is a really crazy notion to to think that balance doesn't exist for you, because if you think that way, then that's almost saying to yourself like you just should be stressed out all the time, which is ridiculous. Right? Because like someone said in the comments, like you do certain things so you de-stress. Now, are all your problems going to magically go away? Of course not. Like that's no, we'll always have stress, but yes, you can be in certain times of your life or certain times of day or certain amounts of week where you feel balanced. Now, my balance may not be the same as your balance, and the next person's balance and the next person's balance. Like balance doesn't look the same. Just it doesn't. It doesn't look the same depending on what our definition is, but you should absolutely positively, I hope, be making it a strong intention in your life, which is why I preach on mental health moment for a gazillion years, to protect your peace and your mental health. You are worthy. You deserve to have positive emotional health. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You deserve to have joy. You deserve to have peace of mind. Like you deserve these things. Okay, so that being said, yes, balance can exist. So if you hear that, don't believe it. Now, does it exist every single day of your life? Obviously not. That would be unrealistic. Things happen, bumps in the road, our disappointments, our losses, our traumas, like stuff happens, but you can work on getting back into a place of balance for you. You do not have to be stressed out all the time. That you don't have to live that way. You really don't, especially when there are like proven things out there, scientific proven things that can help you reduce your stress. But I will say it is up to you to make that commitment for you. Like you have to, I hope for all of you, like you just have to get to a mindset shift where you say, okay, I want to work to get to a place of having peace of mind. I want to be healthier. Sometimes actually you can do this on your own. Sometimes it's tough, like things happen, and you need the help of a coach or a mental health professional or a friend or a colleague or a person from a place of worship or whomever it is for you that can help you through the journey of life. Like you don't have to do this alone. You could do this by yourself, or or with the help of someone, but it is important for you to take that step though, right? And be like, okay, I deserve this, because you do. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up here, but I do again want to remind you, in case you're just now tuning in, that you can always catch the replays on Mental Health Moment on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond YouTube page. They're like all on there for I don't even know how many years, a long time. So they're always on there. But again, just as a reminder, as I wrap up here, it is so important that you make a commitment to release the stress from your mind and your body. The stress will always be there. The problems will be there. The things will happen in the world, things will happen in your personal life, like that's just, it is what it is. But you can work on releasing it. You can tell yourself, yes, balance is possible. Yes, you can get to a healthy state of mind. That is possible. And yes, you deserve these things and you're worthy of these things. Really quickly, one more time, just as a reminder, because the early bird ticket prices are going up. You can register. Let me put it one more time in the chat. mindsettrainingsummit.com. You can register for my growth mindset and self-care summit. It is October 24th. in Atlanta. This is the annual event, so it's only once a year. I would love to see some of you all use the promo code BWE100 for $100 off your ticket. I'm super excited because the speakers are incredible, like just incredible human beings. So anyhow, so I'm so excited for them to be there, for them to share, for me to share, for me to meet everyone in the community, and also for you to learn more ways to grow your mindset, more ways to take care of yourself, to laugh, to be in community with others, and just to grow, right, as humans. Like that's what this is about, like growth. Be blessed. I will see you all next week. Take care of yourselves again. Practice your progressive muscle relaxation, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.